I'm a believer that there's good listeners and there's good hearers. And can you be both? I've not always been good at either. My brain is moving so fast and so quick. I've turned people off because I'm answering the question in my head before they're even done talking. And by the way, that doesn't make me right. Sometimes my answers aren't right. It's just my brain does that. It snaps to a conclusion. That's not hearing them. Because if I'm too busy calculating, thinking, then I'm actually not hearing their purpose or their intent or what they need. So there's a version of leadership that if you have a little bit of narcissistic tendencies in you, you're not going to be a good listener because it's about you. Leadership should really be about the other person. Now, I am very open with my struggles as a leader because of the person I am. Sometimes I'm ready, shoot, aim. Right? Like I don't always follow the sequence properly, and that puts people off. That could create an environment where open and honest two-way communication isn't comfortable because they're like, Patrick's just going to have the answer anyway. Why bother? I've experienced that in my career. So being a safe place for people should be something that a leader would aspire to. And that doesn't mean your Father Flanagan or their rabbi or their priest or their holy man. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. But we all take on a persona of a little bit of therapist, a little bit of friend, which is hard in corporate America, because maybe that's all the people got. Maybe they don't have that at home. You got to have your filters open to understand. That doesn't mean you're a bleeding heart for everything. We're here to grow a business, but it doesn't have to be cold and ugly all the time. There's human beings that have blood coursing through their veins and feelings and thoughts. That's why I always say leadership is exhausting, because if you're going to open your filters to be there for people so they can share openly, to be more effective at their job, maybe give them a little life lessons on occasion. I've received great life lessons from my bosses along the years. It had nothing to do with my job. They just cared. And they could tell I was struggling with something. Yeah. So anyway, there's a balance, but you got to be able to create an environment, whether it's a team of 5 or a team of 5,000, that they know it's okay to speak your mind professionally and politely. You'll be respected for it, actually.
Yeah, it's true. And, we've talked on previous episodes about when people are going through stuff, right, personally, professionally, they bring it with them to work. And sometimes that shows up in terrible places. And an employee might confide in you as a leader and share what they're going through. And then you'll say, now it all makes sense. Now I know why they're being snippy at people or why they keep disappearing. And there's a way to... It's hard, but there's a way to acknowledge what they're going through, show them that you care, listen to their pain, and also tell them what you expect of them, right? Also tell them, but it's still not okay to do this. Or it sounds like you may need some time off. Should we talk about that, right? And that's an area where, as a leader, action might be expected of you. They may want you to help them, or you may need to, even if they don't want to, because as a leader, you have responsibility for your company, for other people that are impacted by this person going through a hard time. And you might need to step up and have that tough conversation. There may be some other times where somebody comes to you and shares, and they don't necessarily want you or need you to fix it. Sometimes as leaders, we get into fix it right away. And that's sometimes when... right? We might jump the gun and have all kinds of solutions when sometimes there is no solution, especially if it's a personal issue or if it's something that will take a really, really long time to resolve itself. And sometimes they just want us to hear. And that's a perfect example of a situation when we should be expected to maintain their confidentiality. We should clarify with them in our own way and in our own style what their expectations are. Is there something I can do to help you? It sounds like this is really hard. I'm always here to listen. And then watch for their cues to see if they're looking for something more, if they ask follow-up questions, if they might seem open to a suggestion. But sometimes they just want you to hear them out, right? And that's
I've given people that work for me, call it permission. I don't mean it as weird as that may sound, but when you're coming at me, say, Patrick, I don't need you to do anything. Because I'm the guy you just described.
Yes.
Like, oh, I know what to do. And people are like, no, you're going to make it worse. And I'm okay hearing that. Now, there was a time in my career I didn't like that. Like, no, my way. Now, that was my first 10 years. But around 15 years ago, I woke up and I want people to say that to me. No action, Patrick. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. And you know what? That builds an air of transparency that's good for everybody. Like, okay, Patrick's not mad that I told him don't do anything. He's going to make it worse. Well, it's okay. I'm okay to hear it because you know what? They're right. My idea isn't the best way. So as a leader, everyone needs to know your ideas may not work.
Yeah. And so as an employee, if you're sharing something with your leader, and it's awesome if you have that safe, comfortable place to do so, use your words, right? As we tell our kids in kindergarten, use your words and say, hey, I'm just talking to you. I just need you to listen here. Or I may need your help, but give me a day or two to try this or that, right? Let them know what you need so that they don't, jump into it or share it unnecessarily. And if you're a leader, you should do the same thing. Use your words too. So if an employee confides in you and shares and you're like, oh gosh, that sounds really bad. And then part of you in your brain is thinking, oh, I might be able to help. Ask them. Say, I know you told me to maintain your confidence and I will respect that. But I think I might have an idea. If I share maybe even a little bit of what you told me with this and this person, I think we might be able to resolve that.